There will be a time like never before. There will be a time like never before. Let me see if I can get this glare away from here, where it's coming in from. There we go. A time like never before. A time like never before. Let me say that one more time. A time like never before. Let me tell you what's bringing on this morning thought and this inspiration. Shout out to all of you. I hope everybody's doing well on a Wednesday morning. A time like never before. I want you to look at what's going on in this pandemic. But there's going to be a time beyond this like never before. You see people quitting jobs, getting fired from jobs. This is a worldwide controversial issue regarding whether or not if a person should get the, what's the word we want to use for it this morning? If they want to get the V, let's call it the V. And I'm looking at it because I got some phone calls regarding the comments that I made the other night regarding the healthcare system and what's about to happen, and how it's leaning that there's more and more pressure that's coming upon people to get the V. And when you look at what's happening, the question is it fair? Is it fair what's happening? So I want to just, number one, say there's going to be a time beyond this like never before. You haven't seen it. This is nothing. This is a walk in the park, brothers and sisters. This is not it. It's not going down. This is not it. Okay, this is not it. But let's talk about what's going on as a result of this V. Most of you all should be going in what they call open enrollment. Open enrollment, if you have an employer that provides medical care, health insurance for you, you're going into open enrollment. And open enrollment starts in probably a week or so, depending on the region and where you are. Brother Yasan, the lollipop. Okay, I like that one, the lollipop. So here's what's happening. When you go to your open enrollment on your job, I wonder if I can do something about this glare. That's about the best I can do with it at this point in time, because it's behind me and I don't know where it's at. We'll just do that. Okay, so when you go to open enrollment, that's your opportunity to add new people, change your benefits, add to your benefits. For instance, you might say, I never had dental insurance. I want to pay the extra $12 a month for family medical dental. You know, maybe your kids are growing up and they're in school or college, whatever. You can do that. And if you have kids in college, the law says that you can still carry them on your medical insurance, which is good. They get to stay with the family plan. But the shocker is going to come when you go to your open enrollment, that the rates are going up. The rates are going to go up. And here's Why? Because your plan has spent more money on people as a result of this COVID, being in hospitals, being on respirators, astronomical medical bills, emergency room bills, all of that. As a result of that, across the board, every employee and the employer, so the employee's contribution and the employer's contribution is going to rise. As a result of that, it's less income. In addition to that, if you don't take the lollipop, what would happen is they're going to assess you an additional per individual, an additional increase for not taking the lollipop. So those individuals, their rates are going to go up even higher. That's what's going to happen. Because some employers are not going as far as to fire people, but what they're doing is they're saying, listen, this is a pandemic. This is the way around the pandemic. This is the scientific approach that we're going to take because the numbers are there. The numbers are there. So this is our approach to the pandemic. And if you don't take the lollipop, you must get tested as much as 4 to 8 times a month, once or twice a week. And that's what's getting ready to happen. It's going to be across the board. Now, some states like Florida, you know, they're going to say, like Florida, Texas, no, we're not doing that. We're not making people get the lollipop. We're not going to make you do it. We're not going to make you wear a mask. And they're going to say that. Now, statistics show that the states that do that have higher cases as a result of the laws and the leniency that some governors have had. I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't care one way or the other. People do what they think is best for their body. But my point is, just get prepared as a result that things are going to change. Now, people think this is bad. This is what's going on because they've never seen it before. You wasn't born during a time when this has already happened. That's the issue. You wasn't born. You wasn't born in the 1920s. You wasn't living. Let me just put it this way. You was not living in the 1920s. Okay? You was not living when there was smallpox and polio. You wasn't living when they made people get vaccine, the lollipop, okay? So, you wasn't living. But the scripture says there will be a time like never before. Brothers and sisters, we're not in the tribulation. We're not in the tribulation yet. This is a walk, and this is nothing. If you think, and I want you to get this, you could look at this as a precursor of an ideal, and I'll leave it that way. It is a precursor of an idea. It's a precursor of a glimpse, just a teensy-weensy glimpse of what is going to happen. Okay? Because right now, if you don't take the lollipop, you know, you can still go get gas. You can still go to the grocery store. You can still go to the movies. You can still go to the malls. You can still travel. You can still do anything you want to. So, you're not in that time yet. Okay? This is not the mark. This is not that time yet. However, this is a little small glimpse of what, of a precursor of what it's going to be like. A time like never before. They won't be playing. If you don't take that mark of the beast, as it says in your forehead or in your hand, if you don't accept that mark during that time, during the tribulation, it's not going to be playing. Nobody's going to be playing. No, it's going to be like, you either do this now or else. It's going to be that cut and dry. That cut and dry. So this is just, look at this as a rehearsal. You can look at it as a rehearsal. That's all this is. But I'm telling you, there will be a time when the abomination of the desolation spoken by Daniel gets in that holy place in Jerusalem. Trust me, brothers and sisters. It will be like a time like you have never seen before. Ever. And you don't want to be in that period. You don't want to be among that. You want to be able to have this word, this truth, your life. You want to be able to get to that wilderness, a place of safety where the Lord can protect you during that tribulation, because you're not going to be raptured off. We did plenty of lessons on that. You know you're not going to be raptured off. As mainstream theology and the apologetics teach it, you're not going to be raptured off, brothers and sisters. You're going to go through this unless you get to that place of safety. And it will be, if you think this is bad, they're forcing me to take the lollipop. People getting fired for not taking the lollipop. People's insurances are going up because they don't take the lollipop. Some states you can't go in and sit down at the restaurant because you didn't take the lollipop. You can still buy or sell. They just say, hey, in this establishment, this is what you got to do. You got to wear a mask. You got to have a lot. You got to have you got to take the lollipop. You got to have something on your face. You got to have social distancing. And those things are smart to do. They're wise to do. They really are. I think in order to get on top of this, that's what they had to do with the swine flu. That's what they had to do with the bubonic plague. This is nothing new. However, what's coming in the future is a time like you have never seen before. And what's sad is a lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people heard about it. They haven't read it. They heard about it. They've seen a little other people's viewpoints who will have an idea of it and do an hour video how you're in the tribulation now. You're not in the tribulation right now, brothers and sisters. How the lollipop is that's in your arm. It says that this mark is going to be in your forehead and your hand. You see, and let me tell you, it's you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it yet. So if you think not taking a lollipop, you screaming, scrimmaging, and screaming and hollering. No, you haven't seen nothing yet, brothers and sisters. The Lord told us it's going to be like a time like you have never seen before. Ever seen before. So what I would encourage you to do is get into that word. Make sure you understand what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and get yourself prepared. Start to get closer in your word. Start meditating in that word, learning that word, living that word, walking in that word, doing that word, binding it about thy neck, writing it upon the table of your heart. Get it, brothers and sisters. That's what's going down. That's what's going down. Shout out to all my brothers and sisters out there that is trying to, they're doing, the biggest thing on the table with them. And shout out, we need it. We need that. We're the people of the book, and some people are still excited and walking into the knowledge of that. And that's great. That's fine. Good morning, Brother Mario, up in Illinois. Sister Donna Panquin. Those are two that just popped up on my screen. It's fine and dandy, brothers and sisters, learning who we are and all like that. But if you don't understand the Sabbath, these feast days, the dietary law, if you're not keeping them and doing them and taking his word and binding them about thy neck, it's going to be a rough time. You're not going to be in that number. You're not going to make the cut. You won't make the team. You know what I mean? So you need to really get deep into this word. Make sure that your household, to the best of your ability, if you're the man of the house, and do the best of your ability as a leader of the house to make sure that this is the lifestyle of the house. We're commandment keepers. We know we're in captivity. Sometimes people got to work on the Sabbath. Do the best that you can. That's it. Do the best that you can under the circumstances of being in the land of captivity. That's just the way it is. These are the parameters in which we have to operate in. But this lollipop issue, it's nothing. It's nothing, brothers and sisters. It's not. This is not it. If you can't deal with this, trust me, you're not going to be able to deal with that time like never before. You won't be able to deal with that. People, you're going to have to die. You're going to have to say, I'll die. You know what? Nobody's going to kill you or chop off your head if you don't take the lollipop. Seriously, nobody's going to kill you. Nobody's going to chop off your head. During the time of the abomination of the desolation, a time like there will be like never before, if you don't do it, brothers and sisters, they will kill you. That's what type of time it's going to be when that time comes. We're not there yet. We're getting there, but we're not there yet. So I would tell you, look at this. Look at what's happening here. Look at what's going on right here. Evaluate it. And I will say, just get prepared, because rates are going to go skyrocketing. Starting in January, your rates are going to go up. It's, you know what? And let me say this. It's inevitable. And here's why it's inevitable. Because the insurance companies, although there's a group plan and a carrier plan, they're there to make money. Okay? So they provide a service. You pay X amount of dollars out of your paycheck for health insurance, right? So when you pay for that health insurance, they look at all of the employees where you work at. Some people have 500 employees, 300 employees. Some people have 1,000 employees. They're looking at all of those employees who are contributing monthly, and that money goes into a pool. And when all that money goes into a pool, that's a lump sum amount. And if there's no incidents, usually, okay, let me back up. Usually you want to get a 5-year contract. Most employers will get a 5-year contract with somebody like Blue Cross, Blue Shield. They get a 5-year contract. And so with that 5-year contract for the next 5 years or 4 years, your health insurance is that particular company with that employer. Now, as a group, everybody contributes. Now, somebody may go to the hospital because they had a slip and fall accident. Somebody may have been jogging and they sprung the ankle and they got to go to the emergency room, and they will pay for that expense. The luxury is you go into the hospital, you go into the emergency room, and they say, do you have insurance? And you say, yeah, I got Blue Cross Blue Shield. And they said, can I have the number? And you reach into your wallet or your purse and you whip it out, and bam, you walk out and you got a $75 bill. That's it. Some places are even lower than that. That's it. You know, you walk out. If you didn't have insurance, your bill could be every bit of $1,400, $1,500. But because you have a group rate, you're in a plan, that's what happens. And if the following year, the incidence of people getting medical assistance is even lower, they say, wow, the last 2 years, you know, we did real good. Certain laws state that they must pass those savings on to the employee. So they say, listen, you know, we're going to lower your contribution because the incidents are low. So they will lower the incident. They will lower your rate. What has happened during COVID is this. You got 3, 4 people on your job that was in the hospital for COVID, on ventilators, and let's say they made it through okay. They're in the hospital for 3 weeks. Brothers and sisters, that adds up and adds up and adds up. And it keeps adding up and adding up. And after a while, the cost is coming out of that plan. So they say, wait a minute. We spent $2 million in medical costs that did not have to pay the year before. And we had to pay it again. So now the plan is costing more money. And by law, they can come in and say, during open enrollment, everybody's rates have gone up. And this is how they go up on it. It's going to go up to cover the past costs, and that number is going to be spread equally, and enough to project that this is the new norm. So right now, they're going to say, we expect for that bill to be $2 million again next year. So we're going to charge you for that too. Also. So now your rates are going to go up and up. And then they're going to come to the individual who does not have the lollipop. And they're going to say, okay, you don't want to take the lollipop? No problem. However, you are a higher risk to the plan. And there is a remedy of protection for you. But being that you're refusing to take the lollipop, you are more at risk. So therefore, we're going to charge you as an individual and as an extra amount. Here's what's so sad about it. If you have family coverage, all of that goes up. Because if you don't have the lollipop, that means people in your house is exposed and more than likely does not have the lollipop. So they just gonna go up on your, listen, $1,000 a month? $1,000 a month can really have a big impact on people and their finances come January. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how we're going to get out of this. First of all, I'm not a prophet, okay? I'm not a prophet. I'm a teacher. I'm just telling you what's going to happen in January. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that. Why do I know it? I've been in public government for over 30 years. I have negotiated with unions, and I've negotiated on the employer side, representing the employer as administration. And I know when people want to raise, you got to bring all this to the table. Listen, there's more. The health insurance is going up. The health insurance is going down. This is why when they have these open enrollments, they want you to come all throughout the year, even where I work at. Every 3 months, they're coming out. Hey, we want to take your blood pressure. Hey, we want to check your sugar level. Hey, we want to check your blood. We want to check your heart. Let us do all of these things, and let us check your weight, and let us do this, and all of these preemptive measures to make sure that if there's something going wrong with you, they get to it early. So these insurance carriers, they don't mind coming out, and they'll give you, they'll say, hey, if you come to the health fair, we're going to give everybody free lunch, or we're going to give you a $25 gift card. You know why they give you that $25 gift card? Because they want to catch something that's going on early so it doesn't cost them more money later. That's $25 well spent. You know what some health carriers are doing? Hey, they say, listen, if you want to join a health club, we will pay for the membership. Yeah, we'll pay for the membership. In fact, they have partnerships with different fitness centers. Hey, if you want to go over there, you can get a free membership. We want you to go to the health club because it lowers the risk. But this issue with the lollipop has taken things completely off the roof. It's totally unexpected. But being that we have gone through 2020 and 2021, and they're looking at those medical bills, because they must have it over a 2-year period before they can pass on the cost. See, and they've got enough statistics and enough numbers to say, listen, this thing went up over the past 2 years. It wasn't just a 1-year thing. It wasn't just a few months things. This is what it cost in 2020. This is what it cost in 2021. And so therefore, you all have to pay for that cost because we locked you in. But now, after a 2-year, and that's what most laws say, we have evidence that this is a quote-unquote pandemic. So we also feel that it's going to happen in the future. So we're going to charge you for the future. It's like an escrow account on a mortgage. You know, you don't have enough money in your escrow account. So by law, the mortgage company has to pay your taxes and your insurance. So let's say that the taxes go up, but your insurance, your monthly payment is locked in. But at the end of the year, they say, listen, your property taxes went up $1,200. Now, we paid it for you. We paid it. But you owe us an additional $100 a month for what we paid, because it's $1,200. And we're going to spread that out for you over the next 12 months to pay us back. But also, we're going to charge you another $100 because more than likely, your taxes is going to be the same thing in the next 12 months. So you get charged an extra $200 for the past expense and what they think is going to happen in the future. A time like never before, brothers and sisters. We'll see you soon. We'll talk soon. Peace and blessings.